Nikola Jokic is the clear MVP, and here's why. But first, hey guys, Emmanuel here, and before I jump into this video, I just want to ask you guys to give me the HBO special, and that is the Help a Brother Out, and you can do that by hitting the subscribe button and leaving a like underneath this video. I'd appreciate it a lot, but I'm not one for long intros, so let's jump into this story. The NBA regular season is winding down and it's coming to an end. There's about 6 games left here, and with that, of course, speculations are starting to fly about the NBA awards, such as the Rookie of the Year, but most notably the MVP of the league. And this year, it's looking like it's going to come down between Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic, like it did last year and the year before that. And look, there were other honorable mentions in the race prior to right now, such as Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum, when the season first started, was scorching hot. He was the favorite all the way up until December. And the reason he fell, or he was usurped by Nikola Jokic, was because the Boston Celtics went through a slump in December. And during that time, Nikola Jokic, Denver Nuggets, became the #1 team in the Western Conference. And also another honorable mention that should get more consideration than he's currently getting right now, I think, is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Listen, Giannis Antetokounmpo is a 2-time MVP. He is a NBA championship, but this year, his team has been superbly good. He's been really good. I think he's been the best player in the NBA for maybe the last 3 years. But the reason he's probably not going to get it is because of Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. But also last night, his team, the Milwaukee Bucks, got absolutely pummeled by the Boston Celtics. It was absurd. I think it was like 71 to like 45 at one point. It was like 100 to 61. It was absolutely embarrassing. But it's really going to come down to Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. And today, I'm going to try and convince you why I think Nikola Jokic deserves it over Joel Embiid and should win it for the 3rd year in a row. Joel Embiid isn't getting the MVP from me just because of pity, just because Nikola Jokic has already won it 2 times. You have to earn it, and I don't think he's done so yet. And the reason why is because let's take a look at Nikola Jokic. The first reason is the triple-double. Yes, Nikola Jokic is averaging a triple-double this season, and I know, I get it. Triple-double, the term triple-double used to mean something a little bit more in years gone by. It's not as illustrious as it once was, mainly due to Russell Westbrook, because Russell Westbrook came along in 2017 and did it for the first time since Oscar Robertson, and then he did it again for 4 seasons. So he kind of devalued the glamour around a triple-double, because he was able to average triple-doubles while still managing to be a liability to his team, while still managing to be a player who just didn't understand how to play basketball. And the reason he averaged these triple-doubles was because he would really stat pad. I watched Russell Westbrook's stat pad, steal, rebounds from his own teammates, right? But this is not the case with Nikola Jokic. No. Nikola Jokic is a more sophisticated player than Russell Westbrook is. Because those triple-doubles that he's currently averaging are the reasons why the Denver Nuggets have been the #1 team in the Western Conference and have been so since they usurped the Memphis Grizzlies right before Christmas. Ever since they took that spot, they have never given it up. They've been a #1 seed in the Western Conference, and it hasn't changed. Why? Because Nikola Jokic has been the engine, the backbone that's been driving them. And he's been doing that through his triple-doubles. While averaging triple-doubles, he's been also extremely efficient, unlike Russell Westbrook's triple-doubles. He's been averaging the highest PER rating in the entire NBA for all players. Guards, LeBron, Giannis, you name it. The PER is basically a measurement of how efficient a player is. And the way it's denominated is you take up all the positives that a player does. So, for example, points, assists, blocks, and then you minus all the negatives that they do. So, turnovers, missed shots, etc. And you divide it by 48 minutes, the amount of time that's in a game, and you get a PER rating. And it measures just how efficient you are on a team. It's not the same as a plus-minus. A plus-minus measures how much the other team scores against you versus how much your team scores against the other team when you're on the floor. They're not the same, right? But Nikola Jokic has been averaging the highest PER rating, and it's worth mentioning that he's followed by Joel Embiid. So not only has Nikola Jokic been averaging a triple-double while being the most efficient player in the entire NBA, he's been doing it while his team has had the best record in a Western Conference. What does that tell you? It tells you his triple doubles are needed. They're not empty stats. And supplemented by the fact that the Denver Nuggets are 25-1 when Nikola Jokic drops a triple-double. They're almost undefeated when he drops a triple-double. What does that tell you? These are not empty numbers. They're not, unlike Russell Westbrook, who would put up a triple-double and his team would lose. He did it while he was playing with the Wizards. He did it for 4 years. Never really got anything out of it. This is not the same with Nikola Jokic. He's actually being a beast, and it's showing in a record. And another thing he has over Joel Embiid is the fact that he's played more games than Joel Embiid. Call me old-fashioned, but I like when my MVPs, I like when my star players, when my most valuable guy actually plays games, right? I like that. I know some people may not count that, and some people don't care about that anymore with load management going on these days. I like that in a player. And Nikola Jokic is the type to show up with his hard hat, lunch pail, and go to work day in, day out. I like that in an MVP. Speaking of playing games, that brings me to my next point. Nikola Jokic isn't the one that backed down from a showdown that would have ended this debate between Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic for MVP. So on Monday, the Philadelphia 76ers played the Denver Nuggets in Denver in a game in which many thought was going to be the deciding factor for who was going to get the MVP. Because you have to understand, these two guys are now neck and neck, that whoever outplayed the other on Monday would have gotten this trophy. In my opinion, I think that Nikola Jokic is just a bit tad higher than Joel Embiid, but if Joel Embiid had showed up and then beat, I would have been fine if Joel Embiid got that trophy over Nikola Jokic, because the last time they played, which was about a month ago, in Philadelphia, Joel Embiid got the better of Nikola Jokic. He dropped 43 points to Nikola's 27 points. So if he had come to Denver and did it again, I would have been fine if he won that trophy over Nikola Jokic. But that didn't happen. What did Joel Embiid do? He decided to miss that game. He just sat that game out. He wasn't injured. It wasn't a personal problem. He sat that game out because of he needed time off. And to me, you can't, that doesn't fly. An MVP doesn't do that. An MVP doesn't back down from a battle with the guy that's directly competing with him for the MVP. Do you think Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan would have done any of that? They would have never dreamt of doing that. Kobe Bryant once embarrassed Steve Nash by dunking over him because Steve Nash won back-to-back MVP, and the last MVP he'd won was over Kobe Bryant, and Kobe felt he deserved it. That's how competitive he was. Michael Jordan used Charles Barkley winning the MVP as fuel to win the championship. Those guys are real competitors. Real competitors show up. Joel Embiid didn't. I take that into consideration, and I'm not the only one that took that into consideration. NBA voters, the people that vote for these trophies, took that into consideration. One of these people being Kendrick Perkins. He tweeted out, "I'm going to take this into consideration that that Joel Embiid missed out on a game that would have been the deciding factor." And you can't just do that, right? You can't just do that. And because of all these reasons, that's why I give the edge to Nikola Jokic. I think he deserves it for the third year running. And a reason why he's been getting a lot of pushback is because, again, about a month ago, the media realized that Nikola Jokic was going to do something that Michael Jordan or LeBron haven't done, which is three-peat the MVP trophy. It hasn't been done since 1984. And I watched live as the media did a 180 on Nikola Jokic. To me, that says behind-the-scenes politics and the media trying to manipulate narratives. But yes, those are just my thoughts. If you like this kind of content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below if you disagree with me or not, and actually give your reasons as to why you think Joel Embiid deserves it. But yeah.